Hello future CAs, welcome back to my channel again. Your one-stop guide for everything related to CA exams. If you are new here, I am Pooja, a chartered accountant. I have an experience of working for Ernst & Young and KPMG, and I help CA aspirants like you succeed with practical tips, strategies and support. So if you are appearing for the CA Final January 2026 exams, then this video is a must watch for you. Today I am breaking down the FR using ABC analysis based on the ICAI's pattern, BOS classification and the exam trends. So you know what exactly to focus on, what to prioritize and how to plan smartly. So watch this video till the end if your target is 70 plus in FR. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe. Every subscription works like a motivation for me and it also makes my day. Request you all to get a notebook so that you can note down all the key points that we'll be discussing today. So this will help you plan your studies in the last few days. So guys, when you visit my channel, do check out the playlist section. You will find several curated playlists for the CA final exams. Make sure to explore them and watch the videos in order to get maximum benefit from each topic. So first we have the category 1. So this Ind AS has been classified into 3 categories. So basically the syllabus of FR comprises of Ind AS mostly. So there are 3 categories. First we'll be discussing category A. So the Ind AS which is specified in this category will come in every attempt. So you cannot skip these Ind AS. So first we have Ind AS 110 consolidated financial statements. So short descriptive question will be asked from this part and often it will be integrated with Ind AS 103, that is business combination. Mostly the first compulsory question might be from this part. So focus on preparation of consolidated balance sheet. And the key adjustments that will be tested in this question will be as follows. Dividend treatment, that is pre-acquisition versus post-acquisition, goodwill or bargain purchase. Deferred tax on fair value adjustment, that is deferred tax liability versus deferred tax asset. Then non-controlling interest valuation, fair value method or proportionate method, revaluation of assets and impact on depreciation, and elimination of mutual transaction. Next we have Ind AS 103 business combination. So as I said earlier, this question will be combined with Ind AS 110. So the key areas under this are computation of net identifiable assets, goodwill and capital reserve, fair value adjustment at acquisition date, impact on deferred tax and non-controlling interest. So from these two Ind AS, definitely one question will be there. So please go through these two Ind AS. Next we have Ind AS 109 financial instrument. So usually question number 2 subpart A will be relating to this financial instrument. So important topics under this are classification and measurement of financial assets, amortized cost and preparation of amortization tables, derivative accounting, forward contract, spot versus forward rates, compound financial instruments, that is liability versus equity component, focus on convertible instruments and unwinding of finance cost. So next we have Ind AS 115 revenue from contract with customers. So this is the only standard dedicated to revenue recognition. Hence it is very important. And the frequently tested areas are identification of performance obligation, allocation of transaction price, variable consideration and catch-up adjustments, bill and hold arrangements, loyalty points, reward points, vouchers, expected value versus most likely method. So most likely the questions from this Ind AS will be concept driven. Next we have Ind AS 102 share based payments. So this is a high probability question though not 100% sure shot but recurring in most of the exam. So the three important areas will be equity settled, cash settled and stock appreciation right. So any one type of question might come from these three categories. Next we have Ind AS 116 leases. So this is very relevant due to corporate applicability, hence this is frequently tested. So the core areas tested will be lease liability, that is present value calculation plus amortization, right of use asset, that is initial recognition plus depreciation, then lease modification accounting, fixed versus variable lease payments, identification whether a contract contains a lease. Then we have analysis of financial statement. Then 5-mark descriptive question are generally asked from this topic. So high probability due to multiple standards are linked to this topic. Hence go through the study material questions carefully for this topic. So basically this covers our section A. So the key takeaways are sure short questions will be from Ind AS 110, 103, Ind AS 109, Ind AS 115. And high probability questions will be from Ind AS 102 and Ind AS 116. And mandatory coverage of analysis of financial statements. So now let's move on to the next important bucket, category B standards. So category B Ind AS come alternatively. That is, if an Ind AS has come in one attempt, it will not come in the next attempt. That has been noticed as per the past exam trends. But as we are aware, the USP of the CA exam is its unpredictability. So it is better to have the knowledge of the standards under this category also. So this is just a trend-based analysis, not a guarantee. Unpredictability will always remain. So let's see which all standards are covered under this category B. First we have Ind AS 36 impairment of assets. So key areas are cash generating units, goodwill impairment, double level testing, that is individual asset testing and CGU level testing. Then we have recoverable value, that is value in use and fair value less cost of disposal. Then reversal of impairment, whether reversal goes to P&L or whether it's adjusted against revaluation reserve. So next we have Ind AS 33 earnings per share. So focus areas are basic EPS, diluted EPS, bonus shares, right issue, potential equity shares, dilutive versus anti-dilutive instruments. So mainly the examiner will test whether dilution exists or not and correct weighing of shares. Next we have Ind AS 37 provisions, contingent liability and asset. Mostly theoretical questions and less calculation based. So some keywords to be used while answering the question under this Ind AS are as follows: present obligation, past obligation, probable outflow, possible outcome, reliable estimation. And the focus will be mostly on whether provision is required, disclosure versus recognition. Hence use the correct terminology. Marks are awarded for conceptual clarity and not just computation. So next we have Ind AS 21 effects of changes in foreign exchange rates. So some important topics under this are translation into presentation currency, use of closing rate, monetary versus non-monetary item. And mostly this Ind AS will be integrated with Ind AS to inventory or Ind AS relating to consolidation and financial instruments. So mostly this standard integrates with multiple Ind AS concepts. Next we have Ind AS 113 fair value measurement. So under this some important topics are fair value hierarchy, that is level 1, level 2 and level 3. Then transaction cost versus transportation cost. And there will be question on whether the cost has to be capitalized, expensed or adjusted in fair value. Next we have Ind AS 23 borrowing cost. So some of the important topics will be specific borrowing, general borrowing, mixed borrowing, capitalization start date, suspension of capitalization. So there might be a question on any one of these type of borrowing. Next we have Ind AS 16, property, plant and equipment. So the key areas are cost identification, replacement of parts, overhauling expenses, component accounting. Next we have Ind AS 7, statement of cash flow. And some important concepts to focus here are foreign currency cash flows, non-cash items, and then classification of cash flows into operating, investing and financing activity, current versus non-current, that is operating versus investing. Nature of transaction matters here more than the tenure. Next we have Ind AS 10, events after the reporting date. So some topics under this are adjusting versus non-adjusting event, third balance sheet requirement, retrospective restatement, revision of comparative figures. So dates play a very critical role here. The next topic under this category B is professional and ethical duty of a chartered accountant. So some of the key topics here are correct accounting treatment, deviation due to pressure. Nature of pressure will be monetary gain, monetary loss, professional misconduct attracted, and what punishment will be involved, monetary, educational or suspension. So the important topics will be CA in practice versus CA in service. So go through these schedules, part 1 of schedule B and part 2 of schedule B. Next we have Ind AS 12, income taxes. Then we have Ind AS 1, presentation of financial statements. So key exam areas are current versus non-current classification, operating cycle, breach of loan covenants, date of breach, date of settlement, settlement before or after the reporting date. So classification here depends on timing and not the intention. So this mostly covers the category B. So these standards are moderately frequent and weightage is usually 6 to 10 marks question. Focus on the concept, presentation and terminology. So this is just based on trend analysis. However, do not ignore any topic. So now let's move on to category C. Low frequency, low weightage, but still important for confidence. So first we have Ind AS 34, interim financial reporting. Next we have Ind AS 20, accounting for government grants and disclosure of government assistance. So the focus area here will be revenue grants, deferred government grants, reasonable assurance versus no reasonable assurance. Then grants related to assets, backward area and business activity. And grants with condition versus grants without condition. And topic of refund of grants, that is immediate refund or refund due to non-compliance after few years. And some key decision making will be reduced asset value, defer or amortize, recognize, or whether the expense has to be recognized immediately in the P&L. Next we have Ind AS 38, intangible assets. So some important topics under this are identification of intangible asset, cost computation, research phase versus development phase. So all the expenses incurred mostly under research phase will be recognized in the P&L account and the expenses incurred in the development phase will be capitalized. And some other topics are capitalization cutoff point, start of amortization. So mostly it will be commonly tested for 4 to 5 mark question. Then Ind AS 19, employee benefit expenses. So some exam focused topics are leave accounting, carry forward leave, current year usage, sick leave and casual leave. Then defined benefit obligation, actuarial valuation, treatment of remeasurement. So under this we have P&L portion and OCI portion. Then Ind AS 2 inventories. So there are 4 high probability areas under this Ind AS. Cost versus NRV valuation. Second, fixed and variable overhead allocation. Third, joint products accounting. And fourth, raw material valuation based on finished goods NRV or replacement cost versus cost. So questions from this Ind AS will be short, logical and scoring. Then we have Ind AS 8, accounting policies, changes in accounting estimates and errors. So you must be able to identify the accounting policy, change in accounting policy, change in accounting estimate, prior period error. And you must also have knowledge about retrospective versus prospective application. Next we have Ind AS 40, investment property. Mostly covered exam areas are transfer, that is investment property to PP or investment property to inventory or vice versa, and measurement at date of transfer. So frequently tested topics will be numerical plus theory mixed. Then we have Ind AS 101, first time adoption of Ind AS. Then we have Ind AS 105, non-current assets held for sale and discontinued operation. So mostly this comes as a full-fledged 8 marks question. And there will be computation, that is measurement of carrying cost, fair value less cost to sell. And also you will get questions on discontinuing operations. Next we have Ind AS 24, related party disclosure. Usually the question will be for 6 marks to 4 marks. Usually the focus areas are identification of related party, the nature of relationship, disclosure requirement, in whose books the disclosure is required. Mostly identification based question will be asked. Then some other topics under category C are conceptual framework for financial reporting, introduction to Ind AS, accounting and technology. So accounting and technology, mostly theoretical question will come, and some key topics are selection of appropriate technology based on volume of transaction and complexity. Then advantages and disadvantages of accounting and technology. Then challenges of implementation. So basically the answer under this should be practical and logical. Then we have Ind AS 41, agriculture. So focus on fair value accounting, transaction cost, gain or loss on initial recognition, sale and purchase transaction accounting. Then we have Ind AS 108, operating segments. So questions will be relating to identification of reportable segments. So usually it will be simple, but conceptual clarity is required to answer this. Then we have Ind AS 28, investment in associates and joint ventures, and Ind AS 111, joint arrangements. So stepwise identification, is it a joint arrangement? If yes, whether it's joint operation or joint venture. And then which method of accounting you will use? Proportionate consolidation, that is if it's joint operation, or equity method in case of joint venture and associates. So this completes the category C, low frequency, low weightage, that is 4 to 8 marks, and each of the Ind AS comes after every 2 to 3 attempts. But it is very important for confidence building. So first complete category A and B, and then you can move to this category C. So this was the ABC analysis of financial reporting for CA Final January 2026. Exactly how the ICAI expects you to prepare. So follow this structure, revise strategically, and FR can become your highest scoring paper. So if this video helped you, please like and share the video with your friends, and also subscribe to my channel for more exam focused CA Final guidance. All the best with your preparation, and I will see you all in the next video.